They told me a man lived in that room for 27 years without ever stepping outside. And at first, I thought it was just another internet rumor. Something people repeat because it sounds interesting. But the more I looked into it, the more disturbing it became, because every record of him slowly disappeared. No proper documents, no verified interviews, just a name that kept showing up in old reports, a deal, and an address that most people refused to visit. Room 406. An old apartment building on the edge of the city, half forgotten, half abandoned. The kind of place where even the walls feel tired. People who lived nearby said they avoided it, not because of danger, but because of how quiet it was. Too quiet, like the building was holding its breath. But there was one detail everyone agreed on. That one room always had its curtain closed. Always. No matter the time of day, no matter the season. And no one ever saw him leave. It wasn't until a maintenance worker was sent there for unpaid utility checks that the story became real for anyone outside the rumors. He climbed the stairs expecting nothing unusual, just another empty apartment, another broken door, another forgotten tenant. But when he reached the 4th floor, something felt off. The air was heavier there, not physically, but emotionally, like stepping into a place that didn't want to be noticed. Room 406. The door looked normal. No locks, no chains, no warnings. Just a faded number plate, hanging slightly crooked. He knocked once, no answer. He knocked again, still nothing. So he pushed the door open, and the moment he did, the temperature inside felt different. Not cold or hot, just still, like the room hadn't experienced movement in years. And there he was, a man sitting on the floor, completely still, not startled, not confused, just watching the door like he had been waiting for this exact moment for a very long time. The worker froze, because nothing about this felt normal. The room wasn't dirty or destroyed like you'd expect from someone isolated for decades. It was organized, carefully maintained, books stacked neatly in one corner, old food containers arranged with strange precision, a small candle burning even though electricity was working perfectly fine, and on the wall, a calendar, every single date marked, day after day, month after month, year after year. 27 years of perfect tracking, no missed days, no confusion, no randomness. The worker finally spoke, asking him the only question that made sense. "How long have you been here?" The man looked at him for a moment before answering. "Long enough to forget what leaving feels like." The worker asked why he never went outside. That's when the man stood up slowly, as if even movement required effort. He walked toward the window, still covered by thick cloth from the inside, and he said something that didn't sound like fear. It sounded like memory. "I did go outside once," the worker frowned. "And?" The man turned slightly. "And I lost the world," then he explained. 27 years ago, he had simply stepped outside like anyone else. No warnings, no strange feelings, just a normal day. He went down the stairs, opened the building gate, and walked into the street. But the moment he did, everything felt wrong. The world looked familiar, but not real, like a copy that had been made slightly incorrectly. People were walking, but no sound came from them. Cars moved, but there were no engines. Even the wind felt silent. He tried to speak to someone, no reaction. He waved his hand in front of a man passing by. Nothing. It was like he didn't exist outside that building. Confused and panicking, he turned back toward his apartment. But when he looked behind him, the building wasn't there anymore. Just empty space. No walls, no doors, no stairs, nothing. That's when he ran. He ran through streets that didn't respond to him, through silence that didn't feel natural, until finally, he found the only thing that felt real again. The room. Room 406. The moment he stepped back inside, everything snapped into place. The building was there again. The sounds returned. Reality felt stable again. But only inside that room. Outside didn't exist the same way anymore. So he made a decision. If reality only worked in one place, then he would never leave it again. Years passed. He built routines just to survive the stillness. He read books until their pages turned soft and yellow. He marked every single day on the calendar so he wouldn't lose track of time. He spoke to no one, except the radio. And sometimes, he said the radio responded. Not clearly, not in words, but in signals that felt like acknowledgement, like something was listening. He stopped trying to explain it, because explaining it meant accepting that something outside the room still existed, and that was something he could not risk. The worker listened in silence, unsure if he was hearing the confession of a madman or someone who had seen some